You be having like background noise and shit, Jamal. I
You
see
can
in part of the rainings. Yeah, I can hear you. No, I don't.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I'm just sitting here on my laptop.
Gotcha.
So give it a second and let some people jump on in and jump on.
Your boy didn't respond.
Nope, that's all right. The show must go on.
You right. What happened with Boo Man, bro?
Never responded. All right, we got a couple of people on here. So, without further ado, FuelOrCrutch Podcast coming to you again on Sunday, pre-gaming before the All-Star game. I've got a very special guest, good friend of mine, Dante Brown. Say what up.
What's good with the people? How y'all doing?
Hey, well, it looks like people want to jump right into it. Jeffrey Hall says, that brawl, though. So, Dante, did you get a chance to check it out?
I did. That was it was funny, but at the same time, don't touch a man. Don't put your hands on him. You don't got to shake your hand.
Let's jump into it. So I've been on Facebook. I've been made a post. I done shared a video. I done got differing opinions about it. Yeah, give me your take. Give me your thoughts, because I've got mine, and they don't necessarily sit well with everybody. But oh well.
That's all right. Hey, my thoughts for real though. Like, it's cool to say something, or if you don't want to shake your hand, just let them go and y'all handle that later. But like, real talk, bro. Like, I understand the anger and where the game went, but don't just put your hands on somebody. Like, if you don't want that reaction, don't put your hands on them. Let the man respectfully walk past you without shaking your hand. All right, we'll talk about it later, or we'll handle that later. Period. But what were your thoughts? I didn't see your thoughts. What were
my thoughts were Juwan Howard, his actions overshadowed the actions of Greg Gard. I think Greg Gard instigated it by touching Juwan Howard. But nobody's going to talk about that because Juwan Howard sends a right hook or right slap that just came from over like two people and slapped Joe Krabbenhoff right upside his head. So I don't feel like anybody's going to talk about that. And now where it came from was Michigan is getting beat. The Badgers sub and put in their bench players. Michigan is still pressing. And I want to say 2 or 3 possessions in a row, they get turnovers and layups or whatever the case is. And so Greg Gard calls a timeout. Juwan Howard's upset about the timeout because their team is down. I mean, and the game is pretty much over.
Right.
Me personally, Juwan, you got to eat that.
Yeah.
If you don't want your team in that situation, don't be down by 15. And because truth be told, if Greg Gard would have just kept his starting 5 in and just let them keep taking it to him, you was gonna be mad. You was gonna be mad anyway. So you got to eat that. But at the end of the game, he was upset, didn't want to shake hands, didn't want to talk to Greg Gard. Cool, you don't have to. You're a grown man. If you don't want to talk to him, you don't have to.
Right, okay.
And so, but when Juwan said something that kept walking, Greg Gard didn't like it and grabbed him. And that's where I feel he crossed the line by putting his hands on him and touching him. And you already seen that this dude was mad. Right. And then that's where it escalated. But of course, when Juwan Howard made that move to swing and slap Joe Krabbenhoff, it took precedence over everything else. And then you see the players getting involved, swinging. Williams and Diabate or whatever his dude's name is from Michigan, they definitely gonna get added to that suspension list. Number 0 from the Badgers who swung and took off running, he gonna get added to that suspension list. So yeah, it should have been avoided. And for me, Juwan Howard, you're a 6'10" black male. It's going to be blown up bigger too.
As it always does. But it is what it is.
So I just wanted to put that out there and touch on that. But diving right into the FuelOrCrutch podcast, we definitely want to speak to my brother Dante Brown about everything that comes with everything that we've ever talked about and worked toward. So with that being said, I just want you to go ahead and just state what you do for a living.
Okay. So I'm a cosmetologist down in Irving, Texas. I do locks, I cut hair, color hair. Yeah.
And so when did your love for this field or career path start?
That started in college. When you get an opportunity to actually cut people in the dorms for the parties, all that, like it was in a dorm room. It was in a basement of a dorm. And I'm like, hey, I think I can make this into a career. It took me a while to get to where I want to be, but at the same time, all the people that was on Whitewater's campus, I went to UW Whitewater. All the people that was on that campus that was giving me an opportunity to just perfect my craft. I was taking it, and shit, I ran with it from there. So
that the desire to become a barber or do hair or whatever the case is came in college, or did it happen before that?
No, mine came in college. When you got, I couldn't get back to the crib as much as I wanted to. And so with that, I was like, I got to start at least doing something with my head. I got to do something. I got to learn how to edge myself.
Self-preservation.
Man, couldn't walk around campus looking crazy, bro. No.
That makes sense. So you started cutting your own hair. I know a couple people that ended up cutting their own hair just to save money. I actually met a dude that told me when the fees of the barber, when getting a haircut changed from like $5-10, he was like, bump this, I'm just gonna go bald. So he started rocking the bald at like 23. Just because he didn't want to do the $10.
Wow.
I was like, I get it. I feel him, but no, 23, I'm not going bald. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, mine wasn't that. It was just I just couldn't get back to the crib as much as I wanted to. So I had to learn how to cut my own hair. Bro, the first time I cut my hair, taper was like middle of the head, bro.
Oh, so you really tried to cut your hair and not just line it up and just
I went all in.
So how long did you
walk? 3 weeks.
So you walked around on campus bogus?
No. You didn't see it? No. Good try. No. Had to do right on before I had it on.
So you said you went to Whitewater. What went into that decision?
Coming out of college, I played at West. Had a pretty good senior year. Whitewater recruited me. One of very few schools, so I took the opportunity.
You had to backtrack.
What you mean?
They recruited you. What sport, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got recruited for football.
Because you were a dual sport athlete, though, in high school, right?
Right. I played basketball and football, man. West High School, West Regents, 06. Holla at your boy.
So you decided to go to Whitewater because they were recruiting you for football.
Right.
So go ahead.
No, they recruited me. I only played a year at Whitewater, though. Really wasn't what I thought it would be. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Football or sports in college ain't for everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't for me. So I was like, I'm going to step away from it. Plus, I had my son. I wanted to give him more time. Man, it was a lot of decisions that I had to make. But sports no longer satisfied the love for me. So I stepped away from it after a year of being there. But I stayed in school. I wasn't leaving. I was there.
Fair. That's totally understandable and commendable. So with that being said, tell people that are listening, like, what goes into college athletics?
Time, dedication. Like, when you decide to go off to school and play sports, in my eyes, how I seen it, it became the sport, school, then whatever else you got going on. So when they say make your schedule around their time, they mean that. And if you really dedicated to the sport and that's what you want to do, you're gonna do what you got to do. Me personally, I wasn't that dedicated. I didn't feel like you should control every minute of my life right now. Like, no.
No, and that's real. And not everybody hears that side of it. Not everybody understands that it's a real commitment, and it's just like a full-time job, just like your academics is a full-time job.
Right. Yeah. So at that point, that's what I realized, what else you need? You really it's really like your dedication. You really got to be dedicated, man. Because if you're not dedicated, you're not giving your all to it, eventually it's just gonna get old and it's gonna be like you're gonna be tired of doing it. You're gonna leave it alone eventually.
So was Whitewater like your only school option or choice, or did you consider HBCUs, or just like, all right, Whitewater wants me to play sports, so I'm just gonna go here?
That for me, that's what it was. I was like one of the first schools that showed interest, and I was like, I got the grades to go. I'm gonna go to Whitewater. It's not too hard from the crib. I didn't realize like being far from the crib though was an option, or was a reason for me staying nearby. Like I didn't realize I needed to be that close to my family. So I was far enough away, but I was close enough I could get to them if anything happened, So when it came to looking at HBCUs, I didn't even give it an option, which I wish I would have done. I went on college.
Yeah, they're far away. Like I've shared before, like the closest one is almost 5 hours away in St. Louis. Then the Lincoln University is in Missouri as well, but it's like 7 hours. Central State and Wilberforce is about 7-8 hours as well. So when you decide to leave to go to an HBCU coming from Wisconsin, you're going to leave and be hours and hours away from home. So it's not just a 30-minute, 40-minute, hour, 2-hour drive back home. Like if you go further than those 4, you're looking at 10, 11, 12, 13 hours.
Right.
And so like that isn't for everybody. But some people it is. For me, It worked out. I wanted to get away. I knew I was getting away. I to this day, I still cannot imagine how people walk to class in the snow.
Bruh, I was sick of it. I commend anybody that leave it I commend you for leaving and going early, like getting away from the hometown early to see what's really out there in the world. You know what I mean? And that HBCU experience gives you that.
It was a different experience, and it was one that I still value to this day. And if I can tell a kid to go and get a chance to go and try it, do it.
Right.
For me, you can always come back home. That's the one thing you can do. You can always come back home, because as you get older and you start having a family and getting a job and making money, it's hard to uproot and start over.
Correct. That's why I tell my boys, take your opportunity, leave, go.
So when you were in college, what was your major?
Organizational communications. It was with an emphasis in management. So basically it was very broad. I could went and did pretty much anything. And the management part, I just needed it because I was really looking to open up my own, at first it was retail, but I want to open up my own retail. And then I realized I want to be a barber. So now I want my own shop. So I went hand in hand.
Well, I mean, that's also commendable too, because there's so many people that have degrees that don't have nothing to do with what they're doing career-wise. So yours ended up working for you with the management aspect.
Facts.
Going back a little further though, what was your dream career as a kid?
Like having my own retail line of stores. That was my thing from when I was probably like 10. Because I just like selling stuff, making money. I was always doing something in the neighborhood. When Tony Jones gave me the opportunity to work over at the little gas station. Remember the little roundabout gas station over there on Park Street?
The Citgo?
Yeah. I was in there helping out selling. I'm like, man, this retailers, they getting money in here. That's what it will look like, getting money to me. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope. Cause yeah, I knew I wanted to go to school to be a teacher. I started off as a math education major. I got to them higher levels of math. I'm like, no, this ain't gonna work. that changed quickly. I was like, I don't even understand what a derivative is at this point. Let's all right, we got to refocus. And so I ended up getting a degree in history, and that turned out to be equivalent to toilet paper. So again, that was something where, like, I had something in mind. My bachelor's degree don't got nothing to do with nothing that I'm doing.
Man, like you said, a lot of people got that.
Did you ever change a major while you was in college, or did you stick? That was what you had from jump, and that's what you stuck with.
I was I had, what is it called? I changed it once. It was just a business, like entrepreneurship, but I changed it to communications to take a different route.
But the management piece, there's still probably some overlap with classes.
That was the majority of the classes, and the same. And then when they told me I could take that as a minor, I was like, what am I taking all these other classes that I don't need for?
Makes sense. So we've had people on here that have been able to share their experiences at the HBCUs. I know you've caught a couple of them. Why don't you share what your experience was at a PWI, being that Whitewater is a predominantly white institution?
Hey, at the PWI, the main thing was like the Black culture was there. Like, it was tight knit. And when it came to like sticking together, they did that. Like, yeah, we seen different racist acts on the campus. We seen different ways that we've been targeted. But the thing about Whitewater was everybody stuck together. Like, it was, even if you did have an issue, but if anything really bad come down to it, people will help you out there at Whitewater. And so it was cool. That's what one of the main things that stuck out. Then also at the PWI, with being in Wisconsin, the weather, like, bruh, that was cold in the wintertime. Like, having to walk to class, and no. I wish I'd have went down south to HBCU, not because now I live in Texas. I see what the winters are like. I'm like, oh, this is easy.
You don't need nothing more than probably a hoodie.
Bruh, a hoodie and a vest. That's what I wear.
Yeah, while I was in Alabama, I know I didn't need nothing more than a hoodie, and it snowed one time in the 6 years I was down there, and by noon it was gone.
Facts. So,
shout out to Dion, another barber tapping in.
What's good, Dion? Hey, Dion's doing his thing up there. I definitely been following him. Dion's doing his thing out there in Sun Prairie, bro.
I got a question. What is some advice that you would give to a young person that has dreams?
Follow them, like, fight for them. It's not everybody's dreams happens at the first attempt. You know, it's gonna be some bumps in the road. It's gonna be some knockdowns. Some of those moments you're gonna just want to be like, man, forget this. I'm going a different route. But nah, keep chasing it. Like, you will come so far, and then you'll be like, I'm done. No, keep chasing it. Because at the end of the day, the only person that you really have to satisfy is yourself. So you got them dreams, keep chasing them. Don't give up on them.
On the pursuit of your dreams to own your own shop, what were some of the ups, the downs, the pitfalls, the pros, the cons, just so people understand like what goes into entrepreneurship?
So first for me, it was learning the skill. And as I've learned the skill, there's certain aspects that you get to a point where you like, oh snap, I need to know like the back ends of everything, as far as if you're a booth renter, if you're a commission worker, like there's so much stuff in the back end. So man, like on my way, it was just the steps I took, bro. It was yeah. You kind of caught me off guard with that one. My bad.
Talk about those humble beginnings.
Bro, I was cutting out the basement, bro, of my mom's crib. Remember, I coming home from school cutting out the basement.
I mean, those are humble beginnings. Like, people need to know, like, there are people that are CEOs and running different business and companies, but that stuff started in a basement or
Like,
it started in a garage.
Hey, I had probably like a 5x5 room. And it was made, it's really a walk-in closet. And I turned it into my shop, bro. I had the 2 mirrors. Anybody that ever came to me in Madison, they know. I had the 2 mirrors. I went and bought a chair, had a TV set up in that joint. Like, at times I had waters, drinks, whatever they needed. My dad was in the garage fixing cars, bro. Everybody know them on the south side, bro.
But you did what you had to do.
I did what I had to do.
And listen, even if you were in a walk-in closet, how did your clientele grow?
Fast. The word of mouth was everything. Man, it grew so quick. I was working at the school at West High School as a security at the time. And when I decided I was gonna leave that alone, I didn't skip a beat. Like, when I did that, I went from making a certain amount to actually matching that within the first 4 or 5 months. I just decided to leave it alone. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. This is what I can do. And it went from working in the basement of my mom's crib after school, after coming home from college, to working with Vernon Nicole. And when I got into the shop, it was gravy. Like, great being around good barbers, helping me learn different techniques. Julio, Rich, yeah, I was good. I mean,
shout out to Julio and Rich. Who are some influential barbers that kind of like you studied or you watched or you just followed their grind and tried to mirror or take techniques from?
You mean from back at home or just in general?
In general.
Bro, really back at home, I follow Boo Man a lot. Like, that's my boy. That's really my barber. That's who was cutting my hair. But he gave me a lot of motivation, honestly. Like, hey, bro, yeah, you can do this. Go ahead and try it. He was like, hey, you mess up, I could fix it. You know what I mean?
He had humble beginnings too.
Bro, very. And I was there for a lot of them. And therefore, like, that's my brother. So that's one of the main barbers that helped me out. Like I said, Rich, Julio, watching them guys and seeing their techniques and them helping out with, with the motivation of staying in the shop and being on the grind. I watched a dude named Game Changer down here in Grand Prairie, Texas. So it's and then it's a couple YouTubers, and I don't really keep up with their names. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I know, go to their page. Oh, Smash Legend. He's dope. So we're just watching their techniques and seeing how good they are. But also, some of these barbers are on the business side on a whole different level when it comes to the cosmetology industry. Because that's a $1 billion industry.
So for y'all young folks that's looking at cosmetology, he just gave you some names of people that are local as well as that are around the country, down in Texas as well. Because I know he follows some barbers that travel, and do shows and are part of those. What did you tell me that you be going to when they have
barber battles?
Barber battles, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the barber battles are dope. Like, even
speak on it.
Dog. So with going to these events, the meeting people, but you see the different hairstyles from all around the world. Like, you see the different haircuts that guys are wearing from everywhere, and just watching somebody from that area do it, put it together, and the shows are just entertaining. They're fun. You know what I'm saying? But also you meet people that are you meet people that are at a level that you're trying to get to, and you can get mentoring from, that are open to mentoring you. You know what I mean? Open to sharing the business and watching and wanting everybody to win. Like, I like this industry. I love this industry. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it's about.
I wanted to do a special little shout out for Cash Forever Clothing. You can find them on IG, Cash_Forever. Up and coming clothing line here locally in Madison. I've seen them having their stuff posted and just grinding. And if you got an opportunity to support them, check them out. Look up their clothing line. If you can buy a shirt, hat, do so. So another thing is you left. So how difficult was that to leave? Because not everybody leaves, and you left, and it's not like you're close. Like even for college, you went to Whitewater, but now for the first time, like you're gone.
That was the hardest. That was by far one of the hardest decisions I had to make in life. If you know me, you know I left my oldest boy up there. But leaving, if he wasn't there, it would have made it so much easier. If he was with me, it would have made it so much easier for me to leave. So that was the one thing that made it hard for me to leave. Another was just that fear, not knowing what's out there. You know what I mean? I was terrified when I left, but I had to go because I knew I needed that to grow. I needed to get away from Madison to grow. I wasn't growing in Madison. I didn't feel it.
So you didn't let the fear of the unknown stop you from your own personal growth.
I let it stop me from the time I left college to 28. That's 4 years. I got to a certain point in 4 years and I was like, yo, I need something more. And I'm not saying like what I had in Madison was very successful for me. But it also gave me a hunger, a motivation to find out what else is there. Like what else is out there. So, you know, I got up and left. I had to go. I'll still come back to Madison a lot. I'm always in Madison.
So let me going back to when you were cutting in college, how much was you charging in the dorm room?
Bro, I started off charging cats $10, right? And the reason I did it, I knew the dude that was on campus leaving. I mean, he was graduating and he wasn't going to be there the next year. So I'm like, hey, if I start at 10 right now, they're going to be used to paying 10. So I'm going to just, therefore, for them to just to come to me now, because dude ain't going to be on campus, I'm going to get that same amount of money. Just take it, you know? And so, it was an emergency cut.
So you had a strategic plan.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Talk about that process, that the thinking multiple steps ahead, because not everybody understands what strategic planning means.
Hey, so you just got to see what's around you. You got to see what direction things are moving in. And I just being a communications major, paying attention to things around me, nonverbals, seeing what's out here as far and when it came to the management stuff, and what I hear as far as the money goes. Because I felt like I was a hustler. I was like, I got to get me a hustle on. So,
well, what'd you say? You had to hustle? What was that?
I said I felt like I was a hustler. Like a barbering is a hustle.
So what is that? What's that you wearing? What is that?
Yeah, holla, boy, legalize my hustle.
That's dope. I tell people all the time, like when you get the opportunity to do something where it comes with you selling yourself, merchandise, product, you're hustling, but it's legalized. Like you're not looking over your shoulder for the police or somebody to rob you. Like me writing a book. I ain't never heard of somebody rob somebody for a damn book. So instead of doing something illegal, that's a hustle. I'm doing something that's legal and getting the same out of it.
Facts. So
your son that you left, that's here, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
For him, and then everybody else that has kids that are at a certain age, probably middle school, high school, how early would you encourage them to start looking into colleges that interest them?
Oh, now, like freshman year. I'm sorry, freshman year. I say now because he is a freshman. You know what I mean? If you know early what these colleges are looking for you to get into their school, this is the school you want to go to, you're ahead of the game because you know, okay, I got to take this class this year, this class that year. if I get done with these classes, I could take a college course early. Like once you put your plan into play, you stay focused from there. So as early as freshman year high school, because like from that point on, you know what you got to do. I tell my son all the time, like, hey, tell me the schools that you want, that you're really interested in. He gave me his 5. So I was like, okay, in the next 2 years, we need to visit these 5. Within the next 2 years, we need to visit 5 schools that you really want to go to. Pretty easy because we have family in different cities and we have opportunities in different cities to go to. And once we get that, well, we look online for all the stuff that he needs for a major. He's picked his major already that he's interested in. It's time to get him into programs and things like that. So we're going to get him into a coding program. Oh, you like IT? Oh, you like programming? Or you like, oh, let's get you into something early. So by the time you get to that college level, if you play your cards right, your kid will go into college with credits already, and you won't be paying for 4 or 5 years of schooling. You'll be paying for more like 3.5, 4, you know?
And if you locked in and you go in and focus when you're starting to work on
the
high school aspect, you go on scholarship. Yeah. Yep.
And that's our main thing pushing at him. Like, hey, we want academic scholarship. Even as a freshman, any freshman, you want your freshman to come in like, if I can get an academic scholarship, nobody can take that from me but me, because you got to go out and do the work. Sports scholarships, you get hurt or you get into some trouble, from my understanding, they can be snatched up under you, taken easily. So, yeah, freshman year, man, start looking as early as freshman year.
So parents, if you're listening and you got kids that are 9th, 10th, 8th grade, like start that planning process now. Start to think about what they want to do career-wise. Think about what schools they're interested in. So that way you can learn what it's going to take for them to get into those schools. And it puts a drive on them, a focus on them, because I swear I feel like when you don't have a goal in mind, you just kind of go through the motions, and you want to have a passion or a drive for something that you're working toward.
Apologize, y'all. I talk with my hands, so I've probably been doing a lot of clapping and moving my hands.
So I want you to go ahead and let everybody know kind of like what you're doing business wise, where you're looking to grow. What would you like to see for yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay, business wise, I have my own salon suite in Irving, Texas. So, and then I manage the entire building of the salon suite. My business is Crispy Cuts and Styles. And then also, what else I got going on? Looking to get into this whole trucking industry. 3 to 5 years, I do want to have a shop here, a shop in Madison, and be looking to expand to have shops in other cities. I want to really put the brand out there though.
So it sounds like you're trying to be the Black Ink of barbering.
You can say that. I mean, why not? If I got the opportunity to do so, take it. And that's what I'm planning on doing. So but so with that, that's my plan. Like I do look to be from behind the chair by like 43. Like even before that.
You got some young cats that you're keeping an eye on that you want to make sure that you have in your shop?
Oh yeah, I actually got some young cats that have approached me about cutting, getting taught, all that. They just released lifted the the instructor's license down here. So I don't need an instructor license to teach anymore. So I'm like, okay, I can teach some young guys now, start preparing them, put them in the right situations with the schools I know. I got a guy down here who owns a school that I know. And so move them that way and then move them right into the shop. Like you got opportunities to come right into the shop. You have a chair. You have everything you need to start you out. So I'm looking to do more like a feeder program in my establishment. So
what up, Rob? Another Black Entrepreneur.
Good, Rob.
Tuning in.
I see Rob every week. Rob every week.
Rob gonna make sure his cut is crispy every week. He's not missing too many weeks in a row without getting right. So one thing I wanted to also just to promote and put out there that I'm hosting a spades tournament March 11th as a fundraising event. Just going more into like this sports exposure that I'm trying to do.
Jamal stole my idea.
He lying. But no, what I want to do is like there's so many of our black and brown student athletes or whatever pretty much only know about football and basketball. What I want to do is to start giving opportunities to kind of explore some of these other sports that we're not necessarily always inclined to, like tennis, soccer, baseball, and for me, lacrosse, rugby. But for me, all these sports, volleyball, all these sports are expensive. So for a parent to have a kid and say, hey, I'm interested in playing this sport. And at this point, playing these circuit sports, that's $1,100-$1,200 minimum. And I know for a fact, not everybody has that kind of money to experiment, because you get them on the field, get them on a team, and then a week into it, when they finally actually really, really get a chance to explore and experience it, they're like, no, this ain't it. So what I'm working to do is to try and create a couple of generate some money so I can host some exploration exposure training sessions for these sports, so people can come out and get a chance to check them out and see if they like it. And if they don't, great. But if they do like it, then it's something that maybe their parents at that point can really invest in and put some time and some stock and some money into, versus, hey, I want to play hockey. And your parents are like, you don't know nothing about hockey. You've never skated, never done any of that. I'm not going to pay $1,500 for you to go try something out, and 2 weeks later, you don't want to do it. So this is an opportunity which I'm trying to create, so that way people can try it out. They can figure out if they like it or not. And if they do, then you pursue it, go further. If you don't, move it on. But you're getting exposed to another sport that we're normally not exposed to.
That's dope.
So yes, anybody that has an opportunity to come out and play, please do so. Otherwise, if you want to donate money, that spades tournament will be an opportunity to donate. You can come, socialize, have drinks, just have a good time. So yes, I want to thank you, Dante, for coming on and speaking on Black entrepreneurship and letting everybody know what you got going on.
Most definitely.
Keep a lookout for the shirts. Talk more about it. What else you got?
Look out for the shirts. Legalize my hustle. I can change any of the, the barber stuff off, or whatever your hustle is. We can put it together. Holla at your boy. You can follow me on Instagram at crispycuts_and_styles. Holla at your boy.
So check Dante out. If you're interested in those shirts, jump on it. Stay where you're located, so that way the followers can come check you out down there.
Give me 1 second.
Shout out to Crown Royal.
Yeah, I'm in Irving, Texas, but right now it won't let me put it down. I'm sorry, it won't let me do it. Irving, Texas. I got an old laptop, y'all. I am not gonna lie to you.
He's old. That's all right.
Yeah.
But to ruffle some feathers, because I know you were an athlete back here. You thought you was gonna get away?
Here you come with that bull, man. What up?
Hey, talk to me. Tell me top 5 players from your era and area. So Madison and your era. Give your time frame when you played. When were you?
I was in the Josh Jackson and Wesley Matthews era.
So what years was that?
So 02 to 06. Yeah.
So give me the top 5 you got.
I'm not playing this game with you, bro.
Come on, we got to ruffle the feathers.
I know you want to ruffle the feathers. Top 5?
Yep.
I'm not doing it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Give me your top 5 teammates then.
My top 5 teammates.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
Do it then.
Josh is 1. Josh is 1. I'm gonna have to put Tony at 2. Tony Monroe.
Tony Monroe. Shout out to Tony. Rest in peace.
Hey, a lot of people sleep on him, but Dotan.
Oh, Dotan Kennedy was different.
Bro, Dotan was dope.
He was like the first white 6'4" point guard that could just do whatever he wanted on the court.
Facts.
And was comfortable.
Very comfortable. Yo, my boys Fat and Skinny. I'm gonna tell y'all they was dope. They didn't stay in Madison too long to play, but Fat and Skinny, I gotta put them up there.
They had dog. They had dog in them.
That's what I like playing with though. Like I was a defensive player, bro. I was like, I'm gonna get you some steals, get you some assists. I'm looking for you to score, but I ain't gonna look to score. I'm gonna be honest with you. But we all had that understanding, and that's dog. Them two, I'm telling you. Couldn't sleep. If they would have stayed in Madison, it would have been a different story as far as guards that could have took over Madison. I feel like they had that.
So Fat and Skinny paved the way for Pootie.
And Pootie, yeah.
And Pootie was the little engine that made the ship run for Memorial.
For real. So the thing, and I felt like Pootie had that experience of watching them, so he already knew what to expect coming up and having to play against his brothers all the time and all that. Pootie made things look easy. And
their dad instilled it all into him too. Their dad was a dog.
Coach Tony, everybody know if you was on any of Coach Tony's teams, you know how he coached, you know what he brought to the court.
And if you stunk it up, he was gonna tell you.
He was gonna tell you and let you know. He was gonna tell you and let you know.
No, but man, I appreciate you hopping on and sharing your wisdom and knowledge, and especially giving the ups and downs about entrepreneurship, because it ain't easy and it don't happen overnight.
At all. So,
like Dante said, if you got a dream, stick to it. Don't give up on it. You actually got to work for it. It's not just gonna fall into your lap. Ain't nobody just gonna walk to your door and give you a pile of money to say, "Hey, make your dream come true." You got to grind and you got to work for it.
This is true. Hey, I appreciate you having me on, man.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. See y'all. Till next time.
Legalize.